Hi BookTube, it's Sunday, so it's the beginning of another vlog, and I just thought I'd come on here and tell you what I'll be reading this week. So let's begin with a decision I made to DNF the autobiography of Henry VIII by Margaret George. And I decided to do this just because I'm not really enjoying it. It's very straightforwardly told. I thought it'd be a lot funnier because with Notes by His Fool, that his fool would bring a lot more humor into things, but he doesn't. Actually, his comments could just not be in there as far as I'm concerned. There's no real feeling or emotions that I've developed towards any of the characters. So it just doesn't appeal to me in any fashion right now, so I've decided to give up on that. So in its place, I'll be reading or finishing finally Winter's Tale by Mark Halperin. I started this like last year or maybe the year before that. I can't remember, and I just set it down, not because I didn't want to read it. I set it down not because I didn't want to read it, but just because there's so much, I think, going on that reading a big chunk of a book wasn't just in the cards for me. So I've decided to pick this up. So it's a bit of a cheat. It's just under 800 pages, and I started at about 270 pages in. So it's a bit of a cheat, but I'm still counting it for March of the Mammoths because it is a huge book. And it's slightly, you know, taller, so if it was shorter it'd be over 800 pages. And I'm plowing through Memories of Ice. I'm currently on page 283 and I am loving this. Yes, and you'll see last week I decided to read small books as well, so I'm reading Fiddler on the Roof right now, and I should open a new one. I'm just going to reach and grab this first one off here. Yeah, and we'll just open that. This will be my other small book this week because I'm going to finish Fiddler on the Roof tonight. Ooh, it's red. And it's a nice cover, and I think I know what it is. Yes, it's Three Men in a Boat by Jerome K. Jerome, and the font is super tiny, but there's also illustrations I saw right there, and the book is falling apart because it's old. This edition doesn't have a date in it. Okay, but it's really like this isn't your traditional kind of cover, so that'll be cool to read. I think it's a humorous book. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing this week. So I did unwrap Three Men in a Boat to read, but I was just visiting with my Oma, and she actually got me a book from the library, and this is The Cat Who Robbed a Bank by Lillian Jackson Braun. I have no idea what it's about besides what the title tells me. I thought that was really sweet, so I'm going to be reading this first instead of Three Men in a Boat. So would it be a YouTube video or booktube video or any kind of video, any kind of social media post this month if I didn't mention COVID-19. I think I'm low-key stressing out about it because I work in healthcare, and if I get it, I can't afford time off, but I have to take it off because I work with people who are immunocompromised and who are like, my oldest person right now is 100 years old. So like everyone I work with is 80 plus or on chemotherapy or has muscular dystrophy or oh, and I'm losing sleep and I'm getting irritated and stressed and oh, but I have still been reading. I don't know if you can see the bags under my eyes. It's a Thursday and I just got off my first part of my shift. I just got news that one of my people canceled for this evening, so I'm so grateful that I don't have to go out again for another 3 hours. But so I have some time to sit and do nothing, and I'll probably fall asleep if I'm completely honest. But I did want to talk about Memories of Ice, and I actually like super tagged. I put two tags, so I tagged them down here like my normal tagging, and I tagged them up here as well. Two quotes that I wanted to share from here. I just love Steven Erikson's writing. Oh, okay, so the reason I tagged this one was because it talks about anxiety and it does it really well. Like it explains it in a way that I never really thought about it. So the setup is that we have this group of 5 people, 5.5 people, 6 people, and 2 dogs. If you've read Malazan, you know what I mean by 5.5 people. Traveling, and then all of a sudden, like, they're traveling across this desert area where there's like no one but them around, and then they come into this town. So I'll just read this paragraph. Nonetheless, the transition from barren plain to green pastures and signs of human activity was something of a shock to Tok the younger. He realized with a dull and faint surge of unease that he had grown used to the solitude of the plain the Alan called Lamatas. Absence of people, those outside the group, strangers, had diminished what he now understood to be a constant tension in his life. Perhaps in all our lives. Unfamiliar faces, gauging regard, every sense heightened in an effort to read the unknown, the natural efforts of society. Do we all possess a wish to remain unseen, unnoticed? Is the witnessing of our actions by others our greatest restraint? And I just thought that was amazing. Like, if you spend so much time in solitude or even such a small group and then go out into a larger group, you are aware of, like, you know, how's this person going to act towards me? How is this person perceiving my actions? And that constant social anxiety. I thought that was a really interesting quote there. And this one's just about, I thought it was a nice reverse of the colonization idea. It's always that way, isn't it? A civilization flowers, then a horde of grunting savages with close-set eyes show up and step on it. Meaning that, like, there was this great civilization came, and then the colonizers came in, and they stepped on it and ruined the great flowers of that nation before. So I'm really enjoying this. The villain, one of the villains in this, is like, I had to, like, once I got to my stopping point, I had to go and watch like cartoons. Does anyone do that when they get something really scary? They just watch cartoons or something. The villain is terrifying. Oh my god. I don't want to spoil it, but like if you've read Memories of Ice, without spoiling it, I'm on page 410. Can we talk about the villains, please? Oh my gosh. And there's so many different revelations going on, like explanations of where like certain names come from and certain nicknames, and like finally the magic system is like explicitly explained. Oh, it is just amazing. It is amazing. I'm really enjoying Memories of Ice. So that's one of the good things about this week, aside from the stress of this stupid pandemic. Yeah. So it's technically Monday, but I'm wrapping up my vlog because I need to get it edited and uploaded and everything for tomorrow. My reading plans took a nosedive this week because I've been stressing out about um, the stupid coronavirus and more like the economic implications um, of that for my job. But yeah, and like when I get stressed, I clench as I sleep in my jaw. Last night I didn't get any sleep just because I was waking up every hour with this pain, and no amount of pain medication was helping. So yeah, I didn't get as much reading done as I'd like to. And then my job, I guess people are off because they've been traveling or they've been in contact with someone, um, or they quit. Someone quit. So Saturday was just, I just was like, it didn't exist outside of work. So that's why I wasn't able to update. Yesterday was similar, but not as bad. So let's start off with this. I opened this at the beginning of the week. I didn't read it because something happened, and that was my Oma, which is, if you don't know, is German for grandmother, took a book out of the library for me. And this is The Cat Who Robbed a Bank by Lillian Jackson Braun. And it's interesting. I'm almost done. I'm going to sit down and finish it today, actually. I've been reading this heavily just because it doesn't require any thinking whatsoever. It's about a town full of rich people doing rich things, and murder happens. And they continue doing their rich people things. And then the murder gets solved by everyone else around them. So it's kind of like, it's interesting. I don't think I'd like another one by her. Because it seems kind of pointless. Another thing that's really weird, I don't know if it's like an American thing or something, that people are obsessed with where they come from. So like it's repeatedly said throughout here, you know, our ancestors were pioneers and that's what makes us so great. And I'm just like, don't know anything about history there, do they? And then they're talking about like this rich function for a jeweler. And this guy's just like, what was Sarah Plensdorf doing at tea? She was an older woman who worked as office manager at the Moose County something. You know, surely she was not in the market for a diamond clip because, you know, she's not rich. She's still working. She's not sitting around and going to all these events like us and just having dinner. And her ancestors had been either shipbuilders or bootleggers, depending on the source of gossip. And I'm like, who insults someone based on their ancestors like that? Like it comes off as an insult in the context, and I was just like, who cares? Like, honestly, who cares? Like, rich people have nothing better to do. Yeah, I'm only reading it because it's really easy. And my Oma got it for me, and I want to let her know, you know, whatever. I did make some progress in here, but today is the 16th, right? And I'm not good at math. So I know, anyways, I should be further than I am. I'm on page 480. Another reason why I haven't been picking this up is because of like the villain. Oh my god, it's terrifying. There's this, it's not really a spoiler because they're not mentioned too much in other things, and it's kind of early on that you learn about this religion. It's called the Panian Daman, and they go into a village and they just like kill everyone who doesn't want to convert, and then they kill the people who do convert as a reward. And then they have this following called the Teniskauri, and the Teniskauri, the woman will rape the dead bodies and then give birth to these children called children of the dead seed, and they're cannibals. And it's all just like, it's horrifying. It's horrifying. Oh, but it's also so really believable within the context of the world. And there's just so many cool revelations and everything going on in this. It's really, really well written. I'm really enjoying this. I thought I'd get completely lost picking up Winter's Tale again this month, but actually I haven't. If you don't know, I set this book down like months ago, and just recently decided to pick it up again. And the reason I set it down was because I was, you know, a little hesitant to pick it up because of the size. But I did pick it back up, and I remembered what was happening, like, right away. It was really cool. It's just really a beautiful story about a place. It's mostly about like this alternative New York City. Yeah, so that's what I've been reading this week. Let me know how your week is going. If you're able to work from home, I'm not. I work in healthcare, so that's fun. That's why I have like mega hours right now. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.